Hey friends, thanks again for joining me today. And I wanted to answer another question that's often asked about the hair tissue and mineral analysis, because I like to go on and on about all the things they can show you and how this is the first lab, and it's one of the only labs I really want people to run when they begin working with me. And it tells you so many things about the mind-body connection and your stress response and your cellular energy. Sounds too good to be true, right? So is HTMA, hair tissue and mineral analysis, really valid? I'm kind of a woo-woo kind of gal, but I also care about science, especially when we're working with people and women in burnout, right? And so there are a few points I just wanted to show you so that you can rest assured that you can trust this lab. So the first thing is that the lab has been used for over 40 plus years, and so it's been used a lot in clinical research. The other thing is that it's used by reputable entities like NASA, military toxicology, and even pediatric studies. The other thing too is that hair tissue and mineral analysis uses the same technology that is used in environmental and other toxicology labs. Also, labs in our government are strictly regulated, and so the trace elements labs is one that I prefer and use the most, and also analytical research labs. And they have stood the test of time. And so I really trust these two labs, because one of the things that is most, it's not really whether labs are valid, but really it's about the quality of the samples. And so I have another video where I talk about how to take the sample properly. But it's been tried and true over time, trace elements labs and analytical research labs over many, many years. The other thing is that the lab results have been reproducible over time, and we've been able to see patterns from many different lab samples, and it's all been pretty consistent. Also, thousands of case studies. So I'm a geek, and so I've taken about, I've lost count, maybe at least 5 different HTMA courses. And one of the things I love about being in all these groups is that I get to watch all the case studies. There's one clinician who's actually seen over 20,000 different HTMA labs, because she also does reviews for other practitioners. And of course, also based on what I see clinically and in a bunch of other case studies that I like to lurk and watch over, we see consistent results, and we see a lot of trends and patterns that are happening in midlife health and health in so many different arenas. And so we're seeing patterns, and we're able to kind of click all of those patterns with different health issues and emotional issues. And more importantly, we're able to see different ways to consistently help replenish these minerals, and we're able to see pretty amazing results based on that. So also the clients too that I've worked with, results speak for themselves, and it never fails. When I review somebody's HTMA, they usually say that is totally tracking with how I'm feeling. And not only that, but different aspects of lifestyle and different symptoms. And so it's really powerful, because it validates people who come to see me, and it explains what's going on when a lot of other labs show that things are normal or aren't really getting to what's going on a cellular level. I'll also link below the video that I made about what HTMA can tell you, and HTMA versus something like blood lab, so you can see what it's showing and what maybe a blood lab is missing. And again, as I said in that video, it's important to run both, because it gives you a full picture of what's going on. But the HTMA is actually able to find a lot of things that the blood lab is not able to find, and it's just a haircut away, right? So anyways, I hope that helps you feel at ease that this lab is valid. 20,000 plus case studies just from one clinician, and in her business, watching and overseeing and mentoring a lot of other practitioners, and also just among HTMA practitioners. We talk about, what we've seen and what we've done and the amazing results. And so if the people who are running HTMAs and actually know how to run it properly and interpret it properly are huge fans. I know we're all raging fans. And that actually brings another really good point. There are practitioners out there that don't know how to interpret the lab properly. So if they see something that's high, they say, oh, you have too much of it. And if they see something that's low, they say, oh, you're deficient. When a seasoned practitioner who's properly trained will actually be able to see and read between the lines based on all of the information and a person's health history to see it contextually, to understand really what's going on. Is that actually a loss, or is that actually that level looks like it's low, but is it actually not available? So there's so many different aspects to factor in to understanding this lab. And so I think the biggest dangers to a hair tissue and mineral analysis is not taking the sample properly, and also finding a practitioner that actually hasn't been trained to use it to the full extent possible and understand it and interpret it properly. So anyways, I hope that helps. So if you'd like to actually see how this lab works, I'm going to link a case study in the notes so that you can get a link and basically get a video to see how a client of mine, Anna, got her spark back, and also see how we used HTMA to co-create her healing journey and have her see results and stop playing whack-a-mole with her midlife symptoms. So I hope this is helpful. Please like this video if it was really helpful, and please also subscribe so that we can stay in touch. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and please also ask any questions, and I would love to hop on and address any questions that you have or any concerns or comments. All right, have a great day.